everybody. How are you? Hope you had a wonderful, safe, enjoyable 4th of July. I know that I spent my 4th of July just being quiet. I've been working a lot, so I needed some downtime, some rest time to get some stuff done. Just me and Queen Booger hanging out. I also had to spend some extra time with Queen Booger because in my neighborhood, fireworks were going off. She wasn't really happy about that. It was freaking her out. So I just stayed here comforting her. And today has been kind of a rest day for her as well because there's no fireworks that are freaking her out. So y'all are here to talk about Shantel. What's going on with her tonight? Well, Shantel just finished up a nearly 6-hour live. Yeah, it went on for quite a while. And I was watching here and there, also through different reaction channels, through Are You Serious and other people, and just trying to keep up with everything going on. I was just waiting for her to finish so I could react to her. And she just kept going and going and going and going. And it's just like, I thought she had limited electricity there. How in the world is she going this long? That's just crazy. But what was going on live? Well, let's see if I can summarize at least parts of it. She's not happy. Clearly, she's not happy. She was in a mood. But beyond her being in her usual crabby mood, Salah was also in a crabby mood. And he was giving her a bit of mouth, which she was not happy about. And there were more than a few things that he was airing her out on. So remember what I said, Shantel. Remember what I told you. In Kuwait, you were the one that you were in charge. Because while you were in Kuwait, he was dependent on you for the money. And now in Syria, the power dynamic has switched completely around. You depend on Salah for everything. You don't even have access to your money. And if something were to happen and he decides he wants no more of you, you would essentially be stuck in Syria. There's not even a Canadian consulate to go to if something happens. If you want to take off with your passport, you are screwed, girl. And you're not even being smart enough to not be combative and rebellious and mean and nasty and try not to get on his last half of a nerve. And yet that's all you're doing. You're fighting with him. He's fighting with you. Y'all, the pot's about to boil over. Tensions were high tonight. And it just kept getting progressively worse as time went on. So, considering the length of the live, I am making an executive decision. Here's what we're doing right now. I'm just going to react to the Twitter peeps, stuff that everybody's saying. And there are clips of the live included in with the Twitter peeps to give you guys, glimpses and previews of what's to come. And then I'm probably going to make 2 or 3 reacts, just breaking up the live into segments so it'd be easier to digest because it's well worth the watch. She's mean, she's nasty, she's in a mood, she's running off at the mouth. There is just so much to go over. Can't do that with just one video. So I hope that's okay. So tonight, it's all about the Twitter peeps. So how about we just get into it, y'all? Y'all know what time it is. It's time for the Twitter peeps. All right, it's time for the Twitter peeps. And as you guys know, on top of showing stuff of Shantel, I also include in maybe some fun stuff, creative stuff, good stuff, just kind of break up the monotony of Shantel. Okay, so for those of you that are on Twitter, that you would like to follow me on Twitter, there's my handle, WildGirlSarah. And for those of you not on Twitter, that's another reason why I do the Twitter peeps. That way you guys can keep up with all the goings on Twitter without actually having to be there. So let's start here with a post courtesy of Lilu Ginger Witch saying, went to a war-torn country trying to rebuild and then yet asking, why is there a gunshot? DX says, yeah, no words. So there's Shantel in the dark because it's early in the morning. And speaking of funny early morning things, okay, Girl World. We had a Girl World correspondent back in Kuwait. We had Jeff the Housefly. We have another one in Syria. We have one. We have a troll, and it's a rooster. I'm calling the rooster Ethan, although I've heard that other people are calling it by a different name. But in the live stream, there's a rooster just completely going off the chain. But there's Chantal in the dark. I guess it's early in the morning. Again, no AC. And she's trying to stream early in the morning. So let's listen to what she has to say.
Anyway, I should maybe have given him more time. I didn't have time. I had to leave before like the first of the month. I didn't want to.
I told her give me 1 month at least.
That's important. So you guys hear that? Do you guys want to hear it again? Here, let me just blow it up and turn up the volume because she's talking in that monotone voice again. I hate so much. It's kind of hard for the microphone to pick up. Y'all listen carefully.
Anyway, I should maybe have given him more time. I didn't have time. I had to leave before like the first of the month. I didn't want to.
I told her give me 1 month at least.
So it would seem that when Salah was talking to Chantal, he told her, give me at least 1 month. Give me 30 days to set everything up wherever we are going to be. She didn't give him 1 month. She wanted to get to him immediately. She's trying to say, oh, I had to get out of Canada right then and there. No, you didn't. No, you did not. You could have rented a room for at least 2 weeks. Do like an extended stay or something. Or maybe even for a month. And given him the full 30 days. But you didn't take that option. You wanted to get to him as quickly as possible. Because in your mind, Salah is your property. He belongs to you. And you wanted to get to him as soon as you could. So although he gave the request, give me 30 days. You did not want to listen. You wanted to get to Syria as soon as possible so that you could continue to control him. Although you're not the one in control right now. He is. And he is very upset. And he's very angry that you are there. He did not want you there. He did not want all the aggravation that is you showing up to Syria and bugging him. And he just said so.
Set everything up. I didn't have friggin' time.
Hey, Nina.
He's mad. He's like, I didn't have time to set everything up. I said 30 days. You didn't give me 30 days at all. What was I supposed to do? You didn't give me 30 days to set things up properly. And Chantal, you are someone that you can't rough it. Okay? You don't know how to survive on very little. You need all the comforts of home. Maybe that's the reason why he said, I need 30 days. Because he knew what you require, and he wouldn't be able to get all the things required for you in less than 30 days. But you want to be over there, so if you're suffering, well, that's on you. She's looking over in his direction with a expression of concern. You should be concerned, Chantal, because again, you are depending on this man for everything. And I suspect he's got half a nerve left and you are jumping on it like a mattress. Just jumping up and down, daring him to snap.
I missed you.
Why is it when she gets around Salah, that baby voice comes out? That is so gross and creepy. And you know what? It's interesting that she's using the baby voice right now. So she can feel the anger in him. She can hear the irritation in his voice. And so she's bringing out the baby voice to diffuse him and to keep him from getting mad at her. Although I'm sure that's just making him madder at her. She's trying to appear innocent or go into that, I'm just a baby, don't be mad at me persona. Chantal, your tricks, your manipulation is not going to work anymore. You need to realize that.
Okay, I miss you too, but
He's like, now's not a time to be emotional.
to real life, there's no time for emotion.
Maybe I is that a
Look at the way she's looking at him like, who is this person? He has never sassed back to me before. Yeah, I told you the power dynamic has changed and you're going to see a whole different side to him, one you're not going to like. And I'm not saying he's going to hurt you physically. I didn't say that. But he's going to feel more free to express his anger. You're going to see it more and more.
gunshot?
Yeah.
Why?
Fireworks.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm gonna tell myself. Fireworks.
Yeah, go ahead and tell yourself that. Go ahead and tell yourself that. Keep fooling yourself about where you are and what's going on there. All right, DX on Twitter, who gives the text recaps of what happened during the live. Poor DX. DX, I'm sure you were hating this live 6 hours and you were trying to keep up with it all. It was just a lot. Sending prayers to DX. Here's part of the recap. DX says, after laying down and raging for a bit, the power goes out again. Her nastiness increased as she hisses in the dark. I love blocking people. It makes me happy. She drops something and shatters glass. It pings loudly throughout the house. Julia, Chantal screams. So she's going to blame it on Julia? It's Julia's fault? It might have been her fault. DX also says, comes back denying anything broke, although you guys are going to see a clip where you hear it break. Still fighting and arguing. Dude, this is horrendous. Shenanigans says, someone told Chantal that she shouldn't be so flippant as a woman in Syria. Here's her response. She literally has learned nothing. Let's watch.
Exactly, Barbara. Like, whatever. Okay, so they kicked me out, whatever. I don't care, whatever.
You know, she had that same attitude in Kuwait. That was her thought going into Kuwait. If I come to Kuwait and if something happens, what's the worst they can do to me? Kick me out? Ooh, scary, scary. And yet, obviously, a lot more could happen to her in Kuwait than just being deported. Because she got in trouble with the cat stuff. And that was the only thing that scared her down to her shoes. And she left in a hot fire hurry, didn't she? And then she went home to Canada. But while she was in Kuwait, she just had the attitude of like, what's the worst they can do to me? Kick me out. Not a big deal. And now she's got that same flippant attitude in Syria. Chantal, I don't know where your survival instincts are. Maybe you have none. But if I were you in Syria, I would be keeping my head down. I would not be flaunting money or food or anything. If anybody asks, I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. I haven't eaten in days. And that's not me making fun of the situation in Syria. I am certainly not. My heart goes out to anybody over there that going without food, going without water, going without medical care. People there are suffering for real. But Chantal is so stupid that she might be going over to Syria thinking that she's a big deal. and she might flaunt about what she has, and that might get her in serious trouble. Like, I wouldn't be doing that over there if I were her. Nope. Kristen says, Shantel hasn't taken her antidepressants in days. She says she doesn't know where they are. This should work out well. Oh, boy. Oh, my. Ooh, that sounds like a whole lot of fighting incoming. Poor DX. DX is like, this is taking me the F out. OMG. Poor DX is like trying to keep up with everything. Okay, so this post from Meow Meow. Okay, Chantal did a community post. Let me show you. Lily says, and she took this from a Syrian website. So Chantal posted a community post, and this was the picture down here. And she tried to say this was her breakfast. Nope. She took that from a website. Somebody reversed image searched it, found it. So that was not your breakfast, Foodie. That was not what you were eating. You took that photo from somewhere else. DX says, yeah, this is just garbage. She looks terrifying or inhibited by spirits or something. She keeps saying she's going to get off. The picture of maritable bliss. What are you going to say? Shenanigans says, Julia knocked stuff down and woke up Salah. Let's watch the clip.
Small energy efficient fridge. Yeah, I don't know. Oh my. Oh, that's gonna wake him up for sure. Did it wake him up? Hold on. Forget that. Oh shit. Julia.
Okay, I don't know what that smacking sound was about. I don't want to think about it. What it might be. I'm hoping it's not what I think it is. And as I understand it, and correct me if I'm wrong, chat, isn't she just in one room with Salah? It's not like a one bedroom type situation. It's just one room. I don't know where Salah is, though. Ooh, and that woke him up, too.
Julia.
So things are not going well over there. Queen Jellybean says, Foodie Beauty, we can't live without each other, Salah. I told you not to come here. He told her not to come there, and she went. You know, I'm thinking that maybe Salah told her to give him a month because he did not want her coming there. Maybe not just for the reason because he wasn't prepared for her, but he was probably hoping that she would continue to send him money and he wouldn't have to see her. And Chantal was not going to allow that. Maybe she told him, look, you're not getting access to my money unless I'm physically there. Kind of like, you know, she kind of forced her way into the situation. I want to see you. And if I'm going to give you money, then I need to be there. I'm not just going to give you money from afar. Shenanigans says, Chantal denies her community post was a stock photo, but had to go online and search it to be sure. If it's not a stock photo, if it came from you, why would you have to search for it? But whatever, let's watch.
For the picture online, nothing. Prepared a breakfast. I said in my post that I had this breakfast. I didn't say I prepared it. So, and then I saw comments, which I blocked, saying that it was a stock photo. No, it's not. I literally searched for the picture online. Nothing shows up. So people.
Why would you have to search for it? If it's your personal photo that you just took because you just got to Syria, If you prepared a nice breakfast, really pretty, and you took that photo, why would you have to search it? Chantal, you pulled that photo from somewhere and tried to act like that was your breakfast when that wasn't. See, you lie when you don't have to lie. You tell stupid lies and then you get caught. And then when you get caught, you try to put a spin on it like, oh, I just wanted to show a similar breakfast to mine and blah, blah, blah. You know, just you don't lie. Just don't lie. Kristen says, I don't even know what to say. Let's watch.
The life. Watch, the weight will fall off. I know it. The lifestyle I'm living, there's no way I can be obese, like super obese. Like, watch 2 months from now.
What's interesting is that the parts of the live I did see, people were asking about, like, I don't know how you're not starving over there because, again, there are food shortages in Syria, water too, medical supplies, everything, electricity. And she said today during the live, I ate a lot of food. Well, I don't know what that means. Like, I don't know how much food she would be eating, like what her idea of a lot is, but knowing Chantal, it is quite a bit. So if she's eating a lot of food, how is she going to lose weight? I mean, if you want to lose weight, aren't there certain things you got to do, like eat healthy, eat smaller portions, maybe exercise, things of that nature? How is she going to lose weight if she's still stuffing her face full of food?
Let's watch. I could go for a pita with cheese right now.
That right there says a lot. I could go for a pita with cheese right there. You know what's going on, Chantal? You're a food addict. You are not in recovery for your food addiction. And that addiction monster in your head is still very much awake. And it's not going to go to sleep, but it's not going to leave you alone. You're not in recovery for any of your addictions. You're just dry. You know what that means? That means you're still addicted. It's just that maybe some of the things that you're addicted to, you don't have access to. That's why you're dry. You're dry because you can't get at the things you want. But the moment you do get access to those things, you're going to go hog wild. And it's going to get ugly quick. But you're already thinking about, I want something with cheese. You got a big problem with cheese. Jolie says, it's a flood. Re-comment then, oh, that's too bad. After assuming there was a shooting, when someone mentioned Texas after being corrected, she still goes on to say, well, they do have a shooting there every other day. She's vile. So I don't know if you guys have heard that there has been a flood situation in Texas. There's people missing, children missing. It's a horrible, horrible thing. And Foodie, being the uninformed idiot that she is, making comments without finding out what are people talking about. But let's watch.
It's a flood. Oh, that's too bad.
Look at the sympathy in her voice. That's too bad. That's really too bad. Ugh.
Whatever. There is shootings every other day though. Like it's bad.
Chantal, what do shootings have to do with a flood that has damaged homes and displaced people, and people are still missing and people have lost their lives? Nothing. This is you just trying to figure out a way to not say, I'm sorry, I'm an idiot, I didn't know what we were talking about. Idiot. All right, something positive. We're going to insert something positive in all of this. Florida Salt and Sass has the hearts. Stu, that's all you get. It's a happy donkey. We got to. No. We're not playing the music. Look at the donkey. Donkeys are funny. They got personality. Look at them. And I'll tell you what, donkeys are still used to protect herds of animals. They are very protective of their territory. Oh, poor donkey. Don't flip over this fence like that. What are you doing? But donkeys are excellent protectors of herds if you raise them up with a herd. They can protect sheep, goats. Aw, pretty donkey. All right, moving on. Shenanigans says, so many people are ignorant, racist, and weird. Really, Chantal? Yeah, speaking of racist, speaking of wrong comments, she made some really awful comments tonight. People were asking about Smokey the cat. Where was Smokey the cat? And Chantal, being the hateful, evil, vile monster that she is, said that she was shipping Smokey to China for food. Like she was making an insinuation that she had shipped Smokey to China because allegedly those in Asian countries eat cats and dogs. She made that comment. And she thought it was okay to say. A vile, hateful comment out of nowhere for no reason. But let's listen to her for a minute.
Yeah, no. That's the thing. Syria yes, it is a beautiful country still. That's why I don't listen. Like, so many people are ignorant and just racist and weird. And
there's the rooster. Oh, that's right. I remember now. People are calling the rooster Kevin. I'm sorry. I couldn't remember his name earlier. People are saying it's Kevin the rooster. There's the rooster.
And they don't know anything about it. They've never been.
Kevin was very vocal during her live, very vocal. He was making himself very much known. Julie says, Foodie Beauty live, sweating and harassing poor Julia. As you guys can see, Julia still hates Chantal, wants nothing to do with her. Good girl. Keep letting her know. Keep letting her know. Alex is shook, says, I didn't get kicked out of Kuwait. I can go back tomorrow if I want to. Then do it. So I guess that was a comment that Chantal made, saying she didn't get kicked out of Kuwait, y'all. She can go back tomorrow if she wants to. Okay, then why aren't you doing it? Maybe you get a place there with a shower and all the electricity you want and food. Why aren't you going back there? Why not? Hectic Llama says, off her meds, their backup power isn't working. Salah is angry and she's clearly having fast food withdrawals. This should be good. Yeah. Again, I was listening during the live stream. The anger between them both is building up. He's getting more sassy. She's getting more sassy. They are both starting to run off at the mouth. They are reaching that point of no return where things are so bad that they're just like going to throw caution to the wind, and that could get her in serious trouble. Oh, no. Two-tailed caper. No, not the Eclair Beach Project. Not the Eclair Beach. Oh my God, that's funny. All right, back to DX with recaps of the live. DX says she's being a butthole and saying that this place is expensive. She's making nasty faces as Salah explains why this was cheapest he could find on short notice. She's arguing with him over how over solar batteries work. They're arguing back and forth. She's angry. Yeah, I don't think Shantel understands about how solar works because you got to put the panels on the roof. True. but then that connects to two other things. There's like a whole system that has to be set up in order to use solar power. And yet, didn't they say that they were not going to get solar power because they're not going to be there that long? So they're just dealing with what they got for right now. But I imagine between the lack of food, water, the simple things such as using a toilet becoming more difficult and bathing more difficult, and her complaining all the time, oh, she's on his last nerve. DX also says, I want food. She scream laughs in Salah's direction. She mentions a local restaurant, remarking they have to try it. Salah is hinting she should get off live given the next blackout happens in 45 minutes. She says she'll get off in 15. And she never did. She just kept going. Shenanigans says, Salah voicing his regret. Let's watch.
Listen to the ingredients. No, we don't even have time to do that. We only have 20 minutes.
24, exactly.
Ooh. Oh, salty, like the shade of it all. I got to blow this up. I have to. Watch her face when he starts talking.
Listen to the ingredients. No, we don't even have time to do that. We only have 20 minutes.
24, exactly.
She gave him the bombastic side eye. He says 20 more minutes exactly. That's how much time she's got left.
So guys, you have to appreciate the electricity and the water and internet and everything in your life.
Yes.
Don't waste anything.
I've been to the souk and I loved it through Mark Wiens. Yeah, I want to do that. I want to do that guy that pours the drinks.
Again, Chantal, I'm not saying anything bad about the Syrian people. I don't live there. I've never been there. But from what I've heard, it is a war-torn country. There is a lot of suffering. There are a lot of shortages with food and water and electricity and so forth. I would try to make myself as invisible as possible for my own safety. You are a woman in another country that is hurting right now in so many ways, and yet you're flaunting yourself. You're being way too public, and that could be dangerous. Do you understand? That could be dangerous. If you're throwing money around, buying fast food all the time, people are going to take notice, and they're going to figure it out.
Hard life teach you too many lessons.
Yes. Julia doesn't know because it's.
And by the way, can I just say, poor Julia, I wish that Julia could have gotten to a better home when she was still in Kuwait. That Salah could have told Shantel, yeah, I'm bringing Julia with me. But then find somebody nice in Kuwait that could have taken Julia in that way. At least she wouldn't be in Syria and all this mess. She could have gone to a really nice home. But no, in my opinion, he used Julia as a hook to get Shantel there, to get her to spend money on everything, because Salah needs Chantel's money, period. Fondue Spiteful Beach says, Foodie Beauty, imagine living in a worn-torn village for years, starving, and this super morbidly obese, entitled, selfish slob wobbles in and demands snacks. I'm telling you, it's not safe to be so public with herself. It's not going to go over well. Shenanigans says they're bickering. Salah wants her to go home. Let's watch.
I'm just learning how to be dogs for the win. I literally went through a lot to get here, and
No, 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 no. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to sit there and say, I went through a lot to get here. Ma'am, that was stuff you put yourself through. You literally went to Syria when you did not have to go there. You could have stayed your butt back in Canada, started over, which you should have done. So don't try to make yourself the hero in this story. Not going to work. We're not buying what you're selling. If you throw it down, we're not going to pick it up. You put yourself through stuff. You're still putting yourself through stuff. This is not this was out of my control situation. This is very much in your control. And you just had to stalk Salah in Syria. Couldn't leave the boy alone.
no one appreciates it. I'm just joking.
Wait, back it up. What'd you say?
I literally went through a lot to get here, and no one appreciates it. I'm just joking.
Ooh, I literally went through a lot to get here and no one appreciates it. And then she just looks to the side at Salah like he doesn't appreciate it. He doesn't appreciate me, what I went through to get here. He didn't want you there though. He told you, give me 30 days. We just saw the clip. He said to you, I need at least a month. Give me 1 month. You were supposed to be at that apartment for at least a month. You made sure to get yourself kicked out within a week. You jumped the gun. Literally jumped the gun. He's not happy.
I look good right now. Should I change my name to I'm fine happy? The bathrooms, there's
45 minutes remaining. The next blackout.
He keeps bringing up how much time she's got left for her live. He's got her on the clock. He's like, you got 45 minutes. Whatever it is you got to do, you better do it soon because you got 45 minutes. You better wrap it up. And she keeps shooting him dirty looks. All right. Shenanigans says Shantel complaining about the fridge and the apartment. Let's watch.
No, of course.
yeah, okay, so I said we had no fridge because listen to the fridge that they gave us. That's why I was mad and freaking out and complained.
And this is why Shantel would never do well in a rougher than normal living situation. Because some people would understand going into a situation like that. They would say, yeah, I get it. Like I'm walking into this thing and I get it. I know I'm not going to have a whole lot of comforts, a whole lot of conveniences. I know that going into it. And then once I get there and figure things out, just roll with it. Because it's not going to do any good to complain about what you don't have. You got to take stock of what you do have and make it work. Chantal's not that kind. She'll just walk into a situation where she knows it's going to be far different than what she's used to. And rather than just look at everything, go through a little bit of shock at first, and then just calm down, she's going to complain and complain and complain and not stop complaining.
Listen, I said I understand about Syria and the problems here, but you pay a pretty penny for this. There's nicer apartments for $65 US a month, for example. Okay, this is like really expensive compared to, and the fridge doesn't. The fridge looks like it's from 1951.
Chantal, can I just point this out to you? It don't matter if a fridge looks like it's from 1950 or it's a 2025 fridge. A fridge is a fridge is a fridge. What are you complaining about the fridge for? Because it's not big enough for you? Honestly, if you're in a place right now where you've only got maybe an hour's worth of electricity, how effective is that fridge going to be? if you're not getting much in the way of power? How could it keep things cold if the electricity is always going out?
Like,
Some places are cheap and like only no 100
I will
US,
never find in Syria.
100 US,
No.
unfurnished.
Okay.
Okay, it's cheap as
Not
hell.
even. It's more.
Oh,
The real estate is expensive, especially it's a season now, and there's too many buildings being bombed,
yeah.
and nobody can live inside it. So there is lack of buildings. So the rent will.
And see, she's so stupid. She's not taking into account like different factors that she's not really considering. All she's thinking about is, I want a place with all the conveniences and electricity. There might be reasons why Salah did not get other places in other areas. Maybe there might be safety concerns. Maybe there might be requirements that he just can't meet. I don't know. But she's like, why are we, like, basically her attitude is, why are we here? There are better places over here, here, and here. Why are we here? Blah, blah, blah. Well, you insisted on coming to see him 3 weeks early when you should have given him a full month. All right, this is cute. Cats with threatening auras. Look, cats in boots. Boots with the fur. Aw, the babies. All right, this is Shenanigans says blackout in the middle of Chantal's stream. Yep, she was streaming and the electricity went out. Let's watch.
There's one huge market. I don't know. It's like city's town or town center. They have an entertainment city full of like carnival rides. They have like things like that you wouldn't think. Yeah. Olive tree time. Oh no.
Lights out. And I'm not making fun of the situation in Syria. No, I'm not. I'm just making fun of her. I'm making fun of her because we just saw the two clips, y'all. We saw the two clips where Salah was basically giving her the warning, like, hey, the power is going to be going out in about 30 minutes, 24 minutes, 45 minutes. And instead of like just wrapping it up and ending the stream before that happened, she chose to keep going until the very last minute. And here we are. But there we go. Let's watch.
Olive tree time. Oh no. This happens sometimes, guys. The power goes out. Ah! Shoot.
You know, it might be a moments such as these, Chantal, that might make you think, you know, maybe I should just go home. Maybe I really should just go back to Canada. Like, for what I need to do, maybe Syria is not the place.
Shoot. Time to go to a 5-star hotel.
Good luck on getting the money together for that. The Angry Scott says, so for 5 hours, her and Salah just sit in the dark with no fan going. Yep. And the smell of sweat and filth and stench is probably all over the place. The Angry Scott says, yes, she's freaking miserable and desperately trying to hide it. DX says she's being annoying and demanding again. Salah snaps at her, telling her to wait. Truly a scene out of a Blair Witch Project. Okay, is there a clip here? No, it's just a picture. Oh my. Oh, and she looks hot. Her face looks very, very red, like she is just overheating. Oh my. Okay, more of the recap, courtesy of DX. says that the landlord, talking about the former landlord, the place where she stayed for a week, says the landlord refused to release the money until he inspected the property. She was angry and demanded he give it all back, and then and there. He's silent, and she's glaring at him from off camera. She reads a comment saying what a good wife she is for being there. First of all, it was her mother that helped her get the place. So if mom put down, let's just say a security deposit or first month's or last month's, it would be mom who got the money back, not Shantel. So Shantel would be no one to give anybody demands. And as far as the landlord refusing to release the money until he inspected the property, that's standard. You know, the landlord has to make sure the place is clean, that there is no damage. He's not just going to give you the money and go back into the apartment and find out there's all kinds of damage there that they have to pay for. All right. DX also says she's getting annoyed, urging him to go to sleep. Yeah, because he was mouthing off and getting on her nerves. Says that she told off her landlord in Canada. No, she didn't. Calls him a weird little neurotic guy, and that it wasn't her fault people reached out to him. Says she demanded all of her money back, and he told her to never message him again. Yeah, but it wasn't your money, Shantel. It was your mother's money. It wasn't your money. It was your mother's money. She paid for it. But of course, you're going to put the spin on the story like it was your money and somehow you got wronged, when the real story is your mom was the one who got wronged. She extended the hand to help you. She helped you get into the apartment, probably co-signed on something, and then you turned around and purposely self-sabotaged just to get out of the apartment because you wanted to go back to Salah. DX says, yeah, he freaking hates her. She seems desperate, making excuses for his clear frustration at her being there. It's OMG, dude, he's goofy laughing in the dark. Yeah, tempers are flaring. DX says, and they're arguing. Let's watch.
Get a new one, hopefully tomorrow night. We have a shower, Twinkie.
Not tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. We don't have hot water though, but I don't care. I don't want a hot shower. You wouldn't want to be without
I
your
advise
husband.
you to not come.
I know, but I want to be with you.
And you lost the challenge, by the way, of complaining every single minute.
No, I didn't.
He's telling on her. He's telling on her. You're complaining every single day, every single minute. He's telling on her. She comes in front of the camera and she tries to act like it's not that bad, y'all. It's not that big of a deal. I'm dealing well. But he's telling on her. He's saying all she does is complain all the time, and she's mad about that. I gotta blow this up. Hold on. Let's watch this again.
To get a new one, hopefully tomorrow night. We have a shower, Twinkie.
Not tomorrow night. Tomorrow morning.
Tomorrow morning. We don't have hot water though, but I don't care. I don't want a hot shower. You wouldn't want to be
I
without your
advise
husband.
you to not come.
I know, but I want to.
He just made the comment, I told you not to come. I told you not to come to me. And she's going to whine. Listen to her whine right here.
You wouldn't want to be
I
without your
advise
husband.
you to not come.
I know, but I want to be with you.
And you
That's that baby one. But I want to be with you. I want to be near you. You want to, you know why you want to be near him? Because you don't trust him, Shantel. Because your world is falling apart. You don't have a solid foundation. You're holding on to bare, tiny threads. If you don't have those, you have nothing. Like, what else do you have? Nothing. No one. There's no one else there to hold on to grab onto. And it's weird. You're out of control for yourself, but yet you can try to control other people. You're still trying to control Salah. You still think that you're in control, but you're not. You need to get that through your head quick. You're not in control anymore. He's in control of you, actually. Without him, you would be lost in Syria. But just because you want to be with him in Syria doesn't mean he want to be with you in Syria.
Lost the challenge, by the way, of complaining every single minute.
No, I didn't. When?
Many times.
You complain more than me.
Yeah, I complain because I know like, see the roster?
I only complained once.
He's confirming my...
I only complained once because you paid a lot to live here and the fridge wasn't working. So we didn't have a fridge. That's what I complained about.
I wouldn't come here. If you're not here, I wouldn't rent this.
Yeah, I know you did it for me. He is sleepy. Are you stressed out? Salah not used to a rough life either. Here, go like this on you.
It's okay for me.
You're not.
He probably wanted you to stay away a little bit longer so he wouldn't have to deal with you. He's like, give me a vacation from you. I just want a month away from you before we get started again. And you didn't give him that vacation time.
What? Friggin' rooster, I'm gonna go cook it.
Yeah, good luck trying to catch it. Have you ever tried to catch a rooster, Chantal? They run pretty fast. It runs faster than you, I guarantee you. And what are you going to cook it with? How are you going to butcher it? You know nothing about that.
You hungry?
And by the way, Chantal, roosters have spurs on their feet. Have fun with that too.
They judge. They judge fam.
Besides, leave Kevin alone. Kevin's doing his job. Don't bother Kevin. Okay? DX says she's being annoying and demanding again. Salah snaps at her, telling her to wait. Truly a scene out of a Blair Witch Project. Your mom's emotional support, Carrot, says her AdSense check will be minuscule. The blackouts may be her undoing. Shenanigans says blackout in the middle of Chantal's stream. Well, we just saw that. You know, I'm wondering something, y'all. I am wondering if Chantal told Salah that her next YouTube check will be substantial. I don't know if she told him that lie, but her next YouTube check is going to be tiny. I don't know if she filled his head with, oh yeah, I'm going to give you lots of money, blah, blah, blah. But on the 21st, he's going to find out her YouTube check is really, really small. And since she's in Syria, I don't see how she's going to be able to do her Foodie content on the side, especially with limited electricity. Like, I don't know how she's going to make bank. So I guess it's a wait and see game of how things play out. Mrs. Flupa Booty says, and he's stuck with her. She got into his house. Yeah, I remember what Chantal said. I just have to get into his house. Didn't she say that about a guy that she was wrapped around once? I don't know if that was Natter or somebody else, but she said something really creepy. She said, I just have to get into his house. And that's her little philosophy with all men. She thinks that if she gets into a man's house, that means somehow they're getting closer, or maybe she's getting more control over that man, more influence, that they're getting close together as people. Like, she's got predator ways, stalker ways. And Salah done messed up by letting Chantal know where he was. And now she got into his house, and I don't think he's going to be able to make her leave, no matter what he does. All right. Kristen says Chantal is now on stream, illuminated by only a flashlight and fanning herself with a piece of paper. She just said the house has one window. She chose that life. She literally chose it. The goth says, I'm not miserable. Yeah, that's the face of happiness and contentment. We should all be so jealous. Kristen says, it's going great. Let's watch.
Want to be
I
without your
advise
husband?
you to not come.
Oh, we
Have a
just saw
shower,
this.
Chunky.
Not warm nights.
We just saw that. Moving on. Shenanigans says, you would do the same for me, right, Salah? Let's listen.
I'm roughing it. Yeah, I am. You would do the same for me, right, babe?
Like what?
If the situation was reversed and I was Syrian
Hmm?
and you had to come to me to be with me, would you do it?
No, he would not. He would not.
Yes.
Yes. Very robotic. Yes. That's it. That's all she got. She's looking for some kind of validation. Like, I'm looking for validation that he loves me. And all she gets is, yes.
He's just saying that.
Yeah, you're right. He is just saying that. And it's crazy, Chantal. You have self awareness of the fact that he doesn't care about you, he's not attached to you. And yet, your dumb self flew all the way over there and put yourself through all of this for what? For ownership? For the sunk cost fallacy of, I've invested so much time in this guy and so much money that I can't bear to let go because I'm so pathetic that I just can't move on and find someone else to be with? Ugh. So sad. Florida Salt and Sass says, wahaha. I'm going to go pop some popcorn. He sounds like a completely different person now than he did in Kuwait. He's over her crap. Yep. Yep, he sure is. He sure is. He's over it. Aaron Tate says he asked her not to come. Here's proof.
You.
And you lost the challenge, by the way, of complaining every.
Oh, we already watched that. Next.
You wouldn't want to be
I
without your
advise
husband?
you to not come.
Stop. Okay. Lean Cuisine Enthusiast says Foodie Beauty is alive and living in Syria. She's sitting in the dark fanning herself. Apparently, her plan is to sleep during the day so she can use her CPAP while the solar panels work. She's clearly living her best life. Well, that's the thing. They don't have solar panels. They don't have solar power because there's like a different components you got to get besides the panels, and they don't have them. So they don't have solar power. I don't know what she's talking about. Weirdo. Florida Salt and Sass says the rooster that won't shut up in the background. Hey, I stand that rooster. The rooster is the most entertaining part of her stream. Okay. Florida Salt and Sass is gross. Lean Cuisine Enthusiast says Foodie Beauty is live in one of the unsafest areas in Syria. In the dark due to lack of power, fanning herself while drinking emergency bottled water. And she really just said that in Canada, she was just trying to survive. Oh, please. Oh, please. Just trying to survive. Give me a break. Over there eating fast food and doing all kinds of edibles, and she was just trying to survive. Are you really trying to compare the life that you were just living in Canada to what's going on in Syria, Chantal? You really shouldn't be doing that. Bad form, man. Very bad form. DX, with part of the recap on Twitter, says, quote, I paid you first in last month's rent. What more do you want? The landlord told her she wasn't getting any money back, but she clocked it. Details some stupid legally binding loophole that she threatened the landlord with, and apparently it worked. She is lying. All of that is a lie. I believe it's all a lie because it was mom that helped her get into the place. So if Mom put any money down. If mom was responsible, then if mom put money into it, mom would get the money back, not Chantal. So Salah is taunting the landlord to shut up and go to Hell. Says he told her about Orleans and she told him that it was 3 years ago and she isn't a bad tenant to him currently for like the 3 days. Told him it wasn't his business if she's messy. So the landlord might have had some concerns about how messy she was, the Canadian villa, everything that happened there. If I were a landlord, I would be concerned about that too. She just didn't like the fact that her past coming back to haunt her and people asking about it. Kristen says, even in a country with food insecurity, Foodie Beauty finds a way to do fat stuff. Because here's Foodie doing community posts showing food in a place where there's food insecurity. Like she's still showing food, like there's plenty of food there. Again, bad form, Chantal, very bad. DX with the recap on Twitter says Chantal is walking around in complete darkness looking for a piece of paper to fan herself with. Do we have candles? She laughs in the pitch darkness, complaining and asking Salah over and over to find a flashlight. He ignores her. Chantal, you are making that man more and more over you by the minute. He's got one little tiny little shred of a nerve left, and you are abusing it badly. He's going to snap one day. He is. DX says, he didn't want me to come here, but I do what I want with my life, so yeah. After a really long and boring few minutes of talking, the power goes out. Chantal is sitting in darkness trying to joke around and laugh it off. Salah announces they won't have power for another hour. DX goes on to say, I don't think they're usually kidnap Canadians. Yeah, she sounds like an idiot. It's clear she is mega coping. Says she knows the risks, but she just can't bear the thought of something happening to Salah, rather be there herself. Again, it sounds like control. She wants to control him. It's all about control. He wanted her to stay away and just keep sending him money until maybe he could get set up somewhere properly to where she could be someplace and not complain so much. But she's the one that jumped the gun and said, no, I want to be there right now. Make it work. DX says, details a story about hearing gunshots and asking if they were fireworks. Salah corrected her, saying it was likely the sound of someone getting unalived. This was later confirmed on the news 50 meters away from their car. Says the event made her sick, but insert stupid. Complaining that people in Syria don't let you get in your house without inviting you over or talking to you. Bragging about her energy gluttony while living in Canada and Kuwait. It just makes you realize waste. Already oversharing. Returns saying the solar isn't working. There's a problem we have to fix. Argues she has the right to be in Syria because Salah is Syrian. There aren't any mods in chat for some reason, so people are being racist in chat. Oh well, she laughs. Well, the solar's not working because you guys don't have it hooked up properly. And just because Salah is Syrian doesn't mean you need to be there, especially the two of you aren't really married. DX says she literally sounds like she's struggling to string together coherent thoughts. Well, more than usual. The alarm sounds off in the back. Hold on, the witch says, pausing the cam and muting the mic.
There's people struggling, and we feel for them, obviously. Hold on.
Yeah, I have no idea what the alarm was for. Was it a car? Was it something in the house? I don't know. Like, what is that alarm about? DX says, Man, her life is a disaster. Says she doesn't want to invest in a fridge since they're not sure if they'll be staying there long. Says she doesn't want to go to Malaysia because neither of them are residents and she doesn't want to have to travel all the time. Well, I can see why you don't want to travel all the time, Foodie, but wouldn't it make sense to go to Malaysia if you can find a place with running water and electricity and, like be able to do your content and such? I mean, think about that. DX says she would like to help rebuild Syria. Yeah, she doesn't look well. She keeps forgetting what she's saying, and she visibly looks like a corpse. Details having to figure out alternative ways to sleep. Says they have no fridge to put their food in a cooler. Aw. Hey, you got to do what you got to do. If you got to put your food in a cooler, you got to put your food in a cooler. That's just how it is. DX says she's been busy settling into her new life, apparently just isn't thinking of fast food, explaining geopolitical issues, telling us about the power or lack thereof situation, sounds annoyed about it, says it's hot from 10 a.m. to 9:45 p.m. Ooh, so that's pretty much all day. Okay, something funny. Cats with threatening auras. So the kitty on top is like, I know what this is supposed to be used for. But the cat down below is like, I found another use for it. It makes a good hat. Like this is fashionable. Like put me on a catwalk. All right. Okay. Let's give a round of applause to the firefighters in Marion County. WFLA News says heroic rescue. Marion County firefighters rescued 12 dogs trapped in kennels beside a flaming mobile home on Friday. This pup looks grateful for his rescue. So the story is Marion County firefighters rescued 12 dogs from home fire. Well done, Marion County firefighters. And thank you for your heroic service. Tat Von B says, someone picking out her fingers. Looks like her anxiety may be over the roof. Yeah, she's been chewing on them fingernails, boy. Chewing them off. Next thing you know, she'll be chewing them down to the quick. Shenanigans says, some of Chantal's replies on her last community post are interesting. She Who Watches says, this doesn't sound like Chantal. And Chantal put a shocked emoji. Fatima Pondu says, glad to see you're doing okay. You look a bit sad in this picture. You must be exhausted and overwhelmed from all the life changes. Wish nothing but happiness for Queen Beezer. Brooke says, she'd go back to Canada and take Julia. Foodie replied with, maybe one day. Julia is Syrian now. Lena says, new era. And then she puts Meep. Chantal doesn't talk about, she doesn't say Meep. What is it? What is that? Meep. So Pata Ray says, the nails bitten down to crap says it all. Yeah, her fingernails look terrible. She is biting on them fingers. Fondue Spiteful Beach. Regret. Yeah, she looks like she's been crying. Her eyes definitely look swollen. Malarkey Meter says, I am very exhausted from all the lifestyle changes. Foodie Beauty translation. Even as a spoiled, privileged person in Syria, she is miserable. So here's one of her community posts saying, hello, just giving a quick update. We have been very busy since I arrived here in beautiful Syria. I will go into more details about what I've been up to and my experience so far in upcoming videos. I just ask for a bit of patience with the lack of content as I adjust to the life here. I am filming things, but I have had no time to edit and upload, reply to comments or DMs, or even cameos. I will have some content out soon, inshallah. I miss you guys. Pictured, me enjoying Syrian style coffee on a beautiful day in the valley areas of Syria. I know, I know. I need new clothes, lol. I'm working on it. I know I look tired in this picture, and it's because I am very exhausted from all of the lifestyle changes, but they are challenging and actually healthier than my sedentary, fast food laden diet. At the same time, when she did the stream tonight, she was eating fast food and snacks. So, Chantal, stop trying to portray yourself as being healthy. Just quit it. You're eating behind the scenes, girl. Quit it. Cats with threatening auras. Can we just appreciate this picture? I mean, this is perfect. And one thing I can tell you about this picture, I don't know that cat. I don't know the cat's owner. But if an animal sleeps with its belly exposed, that's a clear indication that it feels very safe. The belly is a very vulnerable area on an animal. So for any animal to sleep with its belly exposed, it means they feel very comfortable where they are. They're very trusting. So that's a very well-loved, well taken care of kitty. Enigma 2025 says Salah could leave her there all alone while he left the country because he could. He knows the language and she doesn't. She's not safe just because she's a Canadian. Canada can't protect her or save her. She's physically trapped. Yep. And she hasn't figured that out yet. Oh, Yog, friends come in all shapes and sizes. So we have a friendship between a dog and a duck. I don't know what it is about the dog, but the duck absolutely adores the dog. What a pretty puppy. He's a floof. Big old floof. And the duck adores the dog. What is it about this dog that the duck loves so much? I must know. There must be something to this. I'm your Huckleberry says I have a family member who once told me, never marry someone until you've seen them truly angry. I thought it was weird advice at the time, but the older I get, the more it makes sense. Foodie Beauty has never seen Salah truly angry, but I think she might very soon. Yep, she might see what's behind the mask and she's not gonna like it. She ain't gonna like it. Aw, y'all check this out. We Rate Dogs says this is sausage. His humans got him his very own swimming pool and he's obsessed with it. We asked them if he swims every day and they said every single day. He follows us around the house until we take him outside and sit and watch him. If we're not there, he won't swim. So there's Sausage enjoying his little personal pool. So he's staying cool. He's getting snacks. But he absolutely adores his personal pool time. Puppers has his own pool. What a lucky puppy. He's just having a blast. I have to share this. Meandering Thoughts says, LOL, this person on Kiwi Farms called this face banana face. Love it. Okay, some information about olives. Since Chantal loves olives and she's been talking about the olives in Syria. Cat Bite says, Her comment about picking wild olives right off the tree and maybe find recipes made me LOL. Yeah, cutie. Show us all how awesome a fresh picked olive right off the tree tastes. But make sure you video it, okay? In the immortal words of Bugs Bunny, what a maroon. I knew olives can't be eaten straight off the tree, but I didn't know how involved the whole curing process is. 2 weeks in water, followed by 3 months in brine, changing the brine every 12 days. F that noise. I hope she eats her first olive right from the tree on live stream and gets banana face. Because Chantal hates bananas. That's her banana face. I wonder if she'll look at olives the same way after that. Maybe not. Maybe not. Now, what we have here, folks, from Post of Cats, is a cat who does not like hats and makes a point to take the owner's hat off every time they come in the house. For some reason, the cat does not like the owner wearing hats. Look at those ears. Like I'm scoping you out. I know you're going to walk by with a hat, and I will take it off of you. Oh, the cat felt betrayed. Like, what do you mean you were eating two of them? What is this? You're wearing two of them. Something funny with cats with threatening auras. We got mashed potato, fried potato, baked potato, and couch potato. I'll take the couch potato. Okay, I think we're done with the ketchup. I wanted to get that part out of the way as far as the Twitter peeps, because her live stream, I gotta break it up into like 2 or 3 parts, y'all. I'll do my best to make it 2, but possibly 3. But hope you guys have enjoyed the Twitter peeps, and I'm gonna save breaking down the live stream tomorrow in videos because I'm sure everybody's gonna be live. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the Twitter peeps recap, and if you have, please don't forget to like and subscribe and leave a comment. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye.